He had always been an odd child, but what happened next shocked everyone. They were horrified and fascinated at the same time. People were dying to know what could have driven these brothers to commit such a heinous crime. The police and media tried to piece together the events that led up to the brutal murder, but even they were surprised by what they found. This was no ordinary case. What made this case stand out was the family dynamic. These weren't just two random killers who had met on the street. They were brothers with a strong bond. Their relationship seemed unbreakable. Now it looked like someone had poisoned the family. And while they were mourning the loss of their loved ones, the brothers became famous overnight. It was the stuff of nightmares. The bodies of a wealthy couple were discovered in their New Jersey mansion. How had this happened? Who would want to hurt them? As investigators dug deeper into the case, they uncovered a twisted tale of greed, deceit, and ultimately a shocking betrayal. When the police entered the house, they noticed something peculiar. There was no sign of forced entry, and nothing appeared to be stolen. It was as if the couple had vanished into thin air. The only clue, a faint smell of almonds. What did it mean? What was the significance of this particular scent? Could it lead them to the killer? At first glance, it seemed like an impossible mystery to solve. But detectives had a hunch. They suspected that the answer lay hidden within the walls of the mansion itself. So they started dusting for fingerprints. Every inch of the house had to be examined carefully so they wouldn't miss anything important. They combed through every room, searching high and low for any trace of the intruder or intruders. They continued to investigate, hoping to find some answers. And then they found it. A tiny detail that would change everything. A broken glass frame. It wasn't much, but it was enough to send shockwaves through the investigation. The detectives' eyes widened as they realized its significance. It meant that there had been a struggle. Someone had been here. But who had done it and why? They needed to find the culprit before they struck again. As days turned into weeks, the pressure mounted. The public demanded justice. But the truth was, the police were no closer to solving the case than when they started. It was as if the killer had vanished into thin air, leaving behind no trace of their presence. Then, suddenly, a breakthrough. A witness came forward with a crucial piece of information. They had seen a suspicious vehicle near the mansion around the time of the murder. Could this be the key to unlocking the mystery? The police followed up on the lead, hoping it would lead them to the killer's doorstep. But, as they dug deeper, they found themselves in a maze of deceit and lies. They wanted to get to the bottom of this. With each passing day, the urgency to find the killer grew. The community was on edge, fearful of another tragedy striking. But the brothers were determined to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. Little did they know that the killer was closer than they thought, hiding in plain sight. Unbeknownst to them, the killer was one of their own. The brothers couldn't believe their ears. Could it really be true? The thought was unthinkable, but the evidence was mounting. They had to confront the possibility that one of their own was involved. As they grappled with this shocking revelation, they knew they had to act fast. If they didn't, the killer might strike again. They decided to do everything they could to find the truth. The journey to uncover the truth was far from easy. Every step of the way, they faced new challenges and unexpected twists. But they refused to give up. Driven by an unbreakable bond and a thirst for justice, the brothers pressed on. Through their determination, they unearthed secrets that shook them to the core. Along the way, they discovered hidden motives, long-buried resentments, and a darkness that lurked within the seemingly perfect family. With each new discovery, the stakes grew higher. The brothers found themselves in a dangerous game where the killer was always one step ahead, but they refused to back down. In a climactic showdown, the brothers confronted the killer, bringing them to justice and exposing the truth behind the heinous crime. In the end, the bond between the brothers was tested and ultimately triumphed over the darkness that had threatened to destroy them. Yet, as they stood amidst the ruins of their shattered past, they knew that the scars of this ordeal would forever be etched upon their souls. The journey to find the killer was just beginning. As they delved deeper into the investigation, They uncovered a web of deceit and hidden motives that left them stunned. Each family member had secrets to hide, lies that had been buried for years. The killer had carefully crafted their facade, leading the brothers down a path of confusion and doubt. But they weren't about to give up. Driven by an unwavering determination, the brothers continued their search for answers. They scoured through old photographs, letters, and diaries, piecing together fragments of the past. With each clue they uncovered, the portrait of the killer became clearer, their motive more sinister. As the brothers closed in on the truth, the killer's desperation grew. They knew their time was running out and resorted to desperate measures to cover their tracks. The brothers found themselves in a race against time, chasing shadows and trying to stay one step ahead of the killer's cunning. The tension mounted with each passing moment. The brothers' determination was unwavering, but the killer's cunning proved to be a formidable adversary. As the truth began to unravel, the killer made their presence known, sending a chilling message to the brothers. The game had changed. The brothers were no longer just searching for answers. They were now in the killer's crosshairs. The stakes had never been higher. With danger lurking around every corner, the brothers had to rely on their instincts and trust each other completely. In a heart-stopping climax, the brothers confronted the killer in a battle of wits and courage. The truth hung in the balance as they fought to expose the killer, his identity, and bring them to justice. Now, the brothers found themselves at a crossroads, forced to make a choice that would determine their fate. As they grappled with their options, the killer's presence loomed over them, a constant threat waiting to strike. The weight of their decision pressed down on them, knowing that every second mattered in this deadly game. With the killer's true identity revealed, a wave of shock and disbelief washed over the community. The person they had trusted was the mastermind behind the heinous crime, and the betrayal ran deep. The brothers were left reeling, questioning how they had been deceived for so long. The road to justice was fraught with challenges as the killer fought tooth and nail to evade accountability. The brothers had to dig deeper, uncovering hidden motives and exposing the full extent of the killer's web of deceit. The pursuit of justice was a relentless journey as the brothers pursued every lead, no matter how elusive. They chased shadows, piecing together fragments of evidence, determined to bring the killer to justice. Through their unwavering determination and the strength of their bond, the brothers unveiled the dark secrets that had been concealed for so long. Finally, the truth was brought to light, exposing the killer's sinister motives and the lengths they had gone to conceal their crimes. The resolution of the mystery brought a sense of closure, but the scars left by the betrayal ran deep. The brothers were forever changed by the ordeal, their trust in humanity shaken. Yet, in the face of adversity, they had shown remarkable resilience, proving that the bonds of family and the pursuit of justice could endure even the darkest of times. The story serves as a reminder that appearances can be deceiving, and that even in the closest of relationships, evil can lurk beneath the surface. In the quest for truth and justice, we must remain vigilant, questioning the motives of those around us and never losing sight of our pursuit of accountability. As we reflect on this harrowing tale, let us honor the bravery of those who seek justice in the darkest of times and strive to create a world where truth and compassion prevail. Once upon a time, in a quaint neighborhood nestled between rolling hills and winding rivers, there lived a family that seemed to embody the perfect American dream. The husband and wife were renowned for their kindness and generosity. They were pillars of the community, always ready to lend a helping hand to those in need. Their warmth and hospitality were legendary, making their home a beacon of joy and camaraderie. Their sons, though, were a different story. They were inseparable. Their bond was unbreakable. They were partners in crime and confidants, sharing secrets that only brothers could understand. Together, they were planning their futures, dreaming of adventures that lay beyond the horizon. But fate had a cruel twist in store for this close-knit family. Tragedy struck, shattering their idyllic life into 1,000,000 pieces. The parents were gone, leaving the brothers to navigate the world alone. Grief-stricken and lost, they clung to each other, finding solace in their shared pain. As time went on, the brothers grew older, but their bond remained as strong as ever. They faced the world as a team, supporting each other through thick and thin. Their love for each other was evident in every aspect of their lives. However, beneath this seemingly unshakable unity, a dark secret festered, threatening to tear them apart. Each night as darkness fell, whispers echoed through the empty halls of their childhood home, carrying tales of deceit, jealousy, and hidden resentments. What was this dark secret that threatened to consume the brothers? You'll have to wait till next time to find out. See you then.